Buckle up, listeners, because today we're diving into some major tech news.
Sounds exciting.
It is.
Yeah.
We've got a record-breaking acquisition in the crypto world, some AI advancements that sound like they're straight out of sci-fi, and we'll even touch on what the future might hold.
Let's unpack these stories.
Okay, so first up, the biggest acquisition in crypto history just went down. Did you know that?
Over $1 billion. Something like that definitely gets my attention.
You got it. Stripe, the online payment processing company, they just bought this stablecoin company.
Stripe. Interesting. What's the company they acquired?
It's called a bridge. And get this, they paid $1.1 billion for it.
Wow. $1 billion. That's a serious investment. What does it tell us about where Stripe sees the future of payments going?
Well, it definitely seems like they're betting big on crypto becoming mainstream.
Makes sense. Stablecoins, for those who haven't encountered them yet, are cryptocurrencies designed to maintain a stable value. They're usually pegged to something like the US dollar. This suggests Stripe is getting serious about integrating crypto into how they do business.
Exactly. And this actually isn't Stripe's first foray into the crypto world. Remember back in 2021 when they were experimenting with crypto payouts? Then they kind of hit the pause button?
Yeah, I remember that. So what changed?
Well, this acquisition, it feels like they're slamming on the gas pedal now, full speed ahead into the crypto landscape.
It's a strong signal to the market, wouldn't you say? A company like Stripe putting this kind of money down. It makes you wonder, are we about to see more companies dipping their toes into the crypto waters?
It's definitely a possibility.
Okay.
Okay, shifting gears now, let's talk about OpenAI and Microsoft because their partnership, well, it's been interesting, to say the least.
Interesting is one word for it.
Uh-huh. That's right. So latest news is they're back at the negotiating table, reworking their partnership agreement again.
They always seem to be at it, don't they? Those two. What's the reason for the latest round of negotiations?
Well, it seems OpenAI wants to become a benefit corporation now.
A benefit corporation.
Yeah.
For those who haven't heard that term, it means a company that's legally obligated to consider its impact on society and the environment, not just profits. What's the motivation behind that move, I wonder?
That's a good question. But while OpenAI is focused on ethics, Microsoft seems to be playing the long game here, They've poured over $13 billion into OpenAI since 2019, but they don't actually expect to see any profit until 2029.
That's quite a gamble.
It is.
Yeah.
And naturally, they want a bigger piece of the OpenAI pie, especially with such a long wait for profitability. But here's where things get really interesting. There's this clause in their agreement that lets OpenAI walk away if they achieve AGI.
Hold on, AGI, you mean artificial general intelligence, the idea of AI that could actually outsmart us.
That's the one. Imagine that OpenAI cracks the code to AGI and suddenly they can just say, see ya later to Microsoft and go their own way.
Wow, that's something else. It makes you wonder, is that clause just a formality or do they really think AGI is within reach?
It's a question that has everyone AI buzzing right now. And speaking of AI breakthroughs that are raising eyebrows,
there's this company, Heliospec Genomics, and what they're doing is, well, it's kind of a big deal.
what have they done?
They're offering embryo screening, but not just for diseases, They're saying they can screen for things like potential IQ, height, even things like a predisposition to certain diseases.
Whoa, it's like, how far is too far? Choosing your baby's eye color is one thing, but what about influencing their intelligence, their athletic ability? Where do we draw the line?
It's a really complicated issue, right? And it's only getting more complex as technology advances faster and faster. We're talking about designer babies, genetic selection. It's something humanity's grappled with for a long time, the ethics of it all.
And it's not just a theoretical debate anymore, is it? This technology is becoming very real, very fast. Speaking of real and fast, we have to talk about Meta. They've gone and open sourced a whole bunch of their AI tools, including updates to their Segment Anything model.
Segment Anything. Can you refresh my memory?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Segment Anything. It's this AI model that can identify and single out any object in an image. Think about it. You could tell it to find a cat in a photo, and it could outline the cat perfectly, even if it was partially hidden.
Oh, right. I remember that. So they're letting other people use it now. Why would they do that? It seems kind of counterintuitive.
It does, right. It seems like they're giving away their secret sauce, but the experts are saying it's a power move. It's about accelerating innovation, establishing themselves as the leader in the AI game.
So instead of keeping their toys to themselves, they're sharing them with the world, hoping that everyone will want to play in their sandbox. I see. It makes you wonder what kind of crazy AI-powered apps we'll see popping up next week.
Right. I know. It's both exciting and a little bit scary all at the same time. But while we're talking about the future, one of the things that caught our eye was this newsletter, The Neuron, and some predictions they made about AI in 2025. One of them was the idea that an AI could create an app that ends up going viral.
Wow, an AI app going viral. I mean, we're already seeing AI create art, write music, even write movie scripts. Is it that far-fetched to think it could make an app that everyone loves?
And what happens then? What happens when the things we rely on, the things we enjoy, are all made by algorithms? Did that change what it means to be creative?
It's a good question, one that doesn't have an easy answer. But I like to think that AI will become a tool that helps us be even more creative, not replace us completely.
A collaboration between humans and machines. That's an interesting way to think about it.
Speaking of collaboration, another prediction was that Apple's on-device AI strategy is going to start paying off big time. They've been putting a lot of effort into making those AI chips in their devices super powerful.
On-device AI, can you explain that a bit more?
Yeah, so instead of all the AI processing happening in the cloud on some giant server farm somewhere, Apple wants it to happen right there on your phone or computer.
So it's all about privacy then.
Exactly. Your data stays on your device, which is a big deal for a lot of people these days.
It's like they're addressing a real concern that people have about privacy in the digital age.
Yeah.
So this on-device AI, it's not just some abstract idea, is it? It's already powering a lot of the features we use every day.
You got it. Facial recognition. That's on-device AI. Personalized recommendations in your music app. AI working its magic right there on your phone. And as those AI chips get even more powerful, get ready for even more features.
It's like what? Give us a sneak peek into the future.
Imagine real-time language translation. You're talking to someone who speaks a different language and your phone is just translating everything instantly. Or personalized health monitoring AI, keeping tabs on your vital signs and alerting you to potential issues before you even know they're happening. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
It sounds both incredibly cool and a little bit creepy at the same time.
Yeah, it's a powerful technology for sure, which is why we have to be careful, right? I mean, the report also mentioned concerns about national security.
Oh, absolutely. With any technology this powerful, there's always the risk of someone using it for, let's say, less than noble purposes.
It's like anything else, right? A hammer can be used to build a house, or it can be.
Used for something a lot less constructive.
Exactly. And when you're talking about AI, the stakes are even higher. So yeah, national security is definitely something we need to be thinking about.
So let's talk specifics.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that have experts worried?
Well, the big one, the one that keeps coming up, is autonomous weapons. Drones, for example, that can make life or death decisions without a human being involved.
It sounds like something out of a Terminator movie, AI, deciding who lives and who dies.
And it's not just about killer robots, AI can be used to manipulate information, create fake news articles that look completely real, videos that seem completely authentic, even if they're totally fabricated.
And people fall for it all the time.
Because it's getting harder and harder to tell what's real and what's not. And that's a huge problem for democracy, for just, basic trust in society.
It's like we're losing our grip on reality a little bit.
And then there's surveillance. Facial recognition technology is already being used in a lot of places. And then you've got these predictive policing algorithms, which, well, they raise a whole other set of ethical questions.
It feels like we're walking a tightrope here, On one side, you've got the potential of AI to do incredible things. And on the other side, you've got the potential for it to be abused in some really scary ways.
It's a balancing act, for sure. And it's not just up to the governments and the big tech companies to figure this out. We all have a role to play in shaping how this technology develops.
Okay, so what can we do? What can the average person do to make sure AI is used for good?
The first thing is to stay informed. Read about AI. Learn about what it can do, both the good and the bad. And don't be afraid to ask questions,
Yeah.
Challenge the companies that are developing these technologies. Demand transparency.
Don't be afraid to speak up.
Exactly, because the future of AI, it's not set in stone. It's something we're all creating together.
Well, on that note, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. From the world of crypto to the mind-blowing potential of AI. It's been quite a ride.
It has, and we've only just scratched the surface, really.
That's the thing about technology, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just when you think you've got a handle on things, everything changes.
Exactly.
That's why we do this show, to try to make sense of it all.
And to keep the conversation going.
Exactly. So, to everyone listening, stay curious, stay informed, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of tech.
See you next time.